There has not been a single session that I have facilitated where you haven't had someone who presents in a difficult way, and it could be for a number of reasons. I had a classic example recently where I was facilitating a team day, and one of the individuals didn't want to be there. They were very, very factual, logical in their thinking and approach, and wanted to challenge everything that was being discussed or ideas that were being put out there. And when you're in a situation like that, you can't shut that person down, because even though the group might be getting irritated with them, as soon as you shut them down in a way where they are vulnerable, the group will take sides with them. It's the most bizarre thing. So in this case, you have to play to the ego of the individual, and you have to work to get them on side and connect with them in a way that you can get them to see the benefit in what's happening. And it's not always easy. Sometimes you have to get the group to bring them on board. Sometimes I'll be facilitating a session and you can just get a sense that it's not harmonious. And then you'll have to sometimes call the elephant in the room and say, okay, we're here today to do this. How many of you think this is a waste of time, and how many of you think that there's benefit? Have a chat on your table and talk about it. And that in itself brings out information, and they'll have a discussion about that, which will then result in those individuals that might not have been on board coming along. You will have programs that you facilitate on various topics, and people will be in the room because their managers have said they have to be there and they don't really want to be there. So then you have to work really hard in the first part of that session to get them into the position where they want to be there, so that they can make it a good and worthwhile investment of their time, but also so that everyone around them can enjoy the day. Breakthroughs are shown through energy in the room. When you first start a session, you look at body language, you get a sense of the feel of the room, and you just have this sense of when it's working and when it's not working. And sometimes you'll work really hard in the morning, and then that breakthrough will come and everybody just seems to click in. They all have a vested interest, they all want to be there at that point in time, and you can feel the synergy in the room. And then you know you're on track. And the key thing with facilitation is making sure you stick to your agenda outcomes, because if people feel that you're going off track and not being brought back on board, then they feel frustrated. The energy in the room is your indicator of whether you have broken through or you haven't. And as a facilitator, you've got to watch that carefully. If I am facilitating something and we have a plan of action of how we expect the day to go, I like to leave enough flexibility within what we're doing to go with the flow. And that way we don't miss out on those amazing opportunities that come through by just going with the flow, going where the energy is taking you, because sometimes structure will keep you so directed and funneled that you don't have those creative thoughts, or things don't bubble out the way they would if you allowed that freedom.